Trey, hey, you've had some high experiences in the NCAA tournament, some low experiences. How have the last couple years kind of shaped how you approach just another year here at March Madness?
I'd say just like what you said. I've had great wins and great losses here. A lot of different experiences, with this team. So hopefully that plays to our advantage, especially the players that we have on this team. Just that experience in these type of moments.
Trey, how much did that run last year potentially shape how you guys are changing expectations heading into an NCAA tournament again?
I'd say it just kind of lays the groundwork of how much you have to prepare and how much effort it takes to win. It's just it's another step up. It's a completely different level compared to the regular season. So everybody has to be locked in.
For Trey and Caleb, you guys obviously went into last year's tournament with kind of the weight of the world on your shoulders from an expectations perspective. This year, is it different? Is there an underdog sort of angle you guys can kind of embrace here with the way the season kind of ended?
I can answer. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily, kind of say underdog, because I think, we have a lot of confidence in ourselves, and, I think we'd be remiss not to go into every game, expecting and planning on winning, obviously. But yeah, I think definitely with the success of last year, as Trey was kind of talking about, like, especially for us older guys, like, now we know what it takes. We've been through it and we've made it, to the final game, and we see how hard it is, and kind of the experience that is needed along with that.
Yeah, I mean, really just what Caleb said.
Gicarri, this is your first time going through it. What was the mood and energy like waiting to hear where you guys would be in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, it's just exciting. It's my first time, so yeah, I can't wait to start this first game up. And for me, it's just like taking it one game at a time. Enjoying this experience with my brothers. So yeah, this is very exciting.
Caleb, do you feel like this is a team that has played at the level that it takes to get to an NCAA tournament yet, or do you feel like that's something you guys are still striving for?
Yeah, I think we've definitely had obviously games where I feel like we played really well, and then obviously some where we played below our expectations and below kind of where we know we're capable of playing. So I think it's kind of just what we always talk about all year, but peaking at the right time. And I think it's important to kind of go into this week. Obviously, we don't know like exactly when we're leaving yet, but go into the week tomorrow, have a great day of practice, and kind of start off strong for High Point, so that we can kind of go into that process of peaking at the right time.
Trey, you said last week that you think no matter who you play, Purdue was a hard out, and people talk about these losses at the end of the year. Those are all against teams that know you very well, see you a lot of times. What makes you a tough matchup for an opponent that has 3 days to prepare for you?
I mean, I just think we're a really good team. I don't think there's anything. I mean, I guess you could say just the number of sets that we run and how detailed our offense is. But really, I think it's just a team that has experience and a lot of talent. And so I think when you have those things, it's going to be hard to prepare for them.
Trey and Gicarri, what's the big message from the Big Ten tournament that you guys are honing in on? What's the biggest thing that you guys need to improve on?
I'd say definitely our defense. I feel like we have to, do a good job of like playing hard, like with or without making shots. I feel like when we miss shots, that kind of affects us. And when we're making shots, it's easier for us to get our defense set. But if we're missing or making shots, I feel like we still need to play like a high level, high intensity defense at all times.
Yeah, just going into every game and following the scout to the best of our ability, and just giving effort on every play.
Gicarri, this is kind of a little bit of what you just talked about, but you don't know a whole lot about High Point yet, but they're a pretty good offensive team, high-scoring team. Where does the energy get renewed from you guys? What has to happen to get the energy back to where it was like in January from a defensive perspective?
I feel like everybody just has to do their role, whether it's starters or for me coming off the bench, just playing, we need to have like a lot more energy too. I feel like our energy has been down a little bit. So everybody just do their job, stick to our rules, and just play with a high motor, I feel like, and I think we'll be fine defensively.
Trey, what was the team's reaction to the Michigan game and kind of the focus these last 2 days as the Big Ten tournament was going on without you guys?
I think, the reaction to the Michigan game was just that I think we missed a lot of shots. That I think we got the ball in a lot of right spots, and we just missed shots. I think that's, the biggest thing. I personally haven't looked over that film yet, but I'm hoping the last 2 days everybody kind of got to clear their mind and prepare for the, for the big tournament. So, yeah.
There are 8 Big Ten teams in this tournament. How did playing in the conference, you think, this is for any of you guys, going to benefit you heading into this tournament?
Yeah. Like you mentioned, obviously we have 8 teams in the tournament. I think the SEC was first with 14. But I think it just goes to show, the level of talent in the Big Ten. And, I think obviously if you play a tough schedule throughout the season, which we always try to do, not just in, our Big Ten regular season, but in non-conference as well, I think that really helps prepare you for the tournament. It kind of helps you see what your weaknesses are. And I was talking about it after our game Friday that we lost, but it's obviously you can still learn from wins and stuff, but when you get the opportunity to learn from losses, I think it really gives you a good opportunity to kind of take a step back and really dive into what did we do well, what did we maybe not do as well, what are some of the things that we got to keep working on, what are some of the things that we got to keep cleaning up, where with wins and stuff, say you don't necessarily have as tough of a schedule, it's a little bit easier to kind of gloss over those things.
That's a broad question, but I'm making it broad for you.
I just think everybody has to mentally lock into what we're trying to do into following the game plan. I've said I don't know specifically what that plan is going to be yet. We just found out we were going to play, but just getting our minds right, getting our bodies right for the game. At this point in the season, it's obviously there's things you can work on, but we kind of. You are who you are. We have a certain style of play, and we're going to stick to that. So it's just kind of refining what you already do.
Caleb, this is your final NCAA tournament. What's it been like being the only senior on this team?
It's been a little weird for sure. Just with every year, my freshman, sophomore, junior years, I feel like it was always at least maybe my sophomore year it was only Frosty and Dave. But kind of last year and then my freshman year as well, I think it was both like 5 or 6. So it's been a little different for sure, but yeah, it's been something that I've really tried to cherish. I've kind of talked about it a lot throughout my career, but just always trying to bring joy each and every day. And I feel like, kind of being the only senior, it's given me an opportunity to, as best I can, try to help spread that to some other guys, some younger guys, just going into practice every day with joy. Because obviously there's some ups and downs throughout the season. Some days are tougher than others, but, just trying to approach it with that mindset has, kind of always been my main focus and something that I've really tried to focus on this year as well.
Caleb, also kind of following up on that, last year you went into the tournament kind of getting just a few minutes a game. Now you're a starter. Just how does that change things for you, if at all, and how excited are you to get into the NCAA tournament and play some big minutes? Yeah.
I think obviously the physical role is a lot different, but kind of as Trey was talking about being locked in mentally, the mental preparation is still much of the same. On the outside, obviously there are guys that, from the outside, whether it's media or fans or whatever, some guys that seem more important than others based on whether it be minutes or however many points per game that they score. But, kind of within our team and within the walls of our team, I think we realize and we understand how vital and how important every guy's role is to the team, whether it is someone like Braden, obviously Big Ten, player of the year, all these other things, or if it's, I guess one of our walk-ons that, does the scout team for us. I think that mental preparation is still the same, and I think for me it just goes to approaching it with that same level of mental preparation.
Caleb, High Point is a team that rebounds extremely well. What do you see as your role, and who else needs to step up in order to counter that?
Yeah, I think definitely kind of playing teams, or even I guess just playing in the Big Ten as a whole, and more recently against teams like Illinois and Michigan with their size and their ability to rebound. I think it gives us a good preparation for sure, and that's kind of been a point of emphasis for us as a team over the past couple of weeks to begin with, just rebounding and matching the other, or not even just matching, but trying to exceed the other team's level of physicality. So, I think just focusing on that and really keying on that and continue to work on it.
Gicarri, you've had some of your better games here in the last couple weeks. Camden's obviously had some of his better games in the last couple weeks. That supporting crew seems like it's playing some of its best basketball. Why do you think that is?
We've just been staying locked in the whole season. We all shoot after practice. We all getting the extra work. We're all watching film. So yeah, we're sticking with it. We're staying locked in. No matter if we have a good game or a bad game, we still gonna be up the next day working and just preparing for whoever's next. So yeah, I think we've been doing a good job of being consistent throughout this whole year, and that's why we've been playing better towards the end. And I feel like we're gonna have our best basketball these last couple of games.
Anything else for you guys? Last one.
Gicarri, this may be kind of a weird question, but I see three guys up here with state championships, and I guess they could answer too, but do you think anything translates from having gone through that, at a lower level once you get to college and you get in a one-and-done format?
Yeah, I think so. Last year it was great winning that state championship, and I'm just trying to do the same thing up here. I'm trying to, just encourage everybody, just try to be more vocal, be more of a leader. Anybody can be a leader on the team, so just try to be more of a leader to everybody. And if I see something going on the court, I'm gonna let anybody know. So yeah, I think there's some similarities coming from winning state and then doing the same thing at the college level. So yeah.
Thank you, guys.